Welcome back to another Sharp Counsel update. In our last explainer, we dove headfirst into the legal shockwave that was rocking college sports. The whole system was teetering on one huge, explosive question. Well, today, we're going to look at what happened next. You remember this, right? It was this epic battle, this legal tug-of-war between amateurism and employment. It was pulling universities, athletes, and the courts in totally opposite directions. I mean, the very ground under college athletics was shaking. Well, that rope, it just snapped. A landmark settlement was finally reached, a huge deal that was supposed to end the fight and bring some stability, but instead of peace, it's unleashed a brand new kind of chaos. Let's break down what that really means. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the new playbook this settlement created. Then we're going to look at how its main compliance system fumbled right out of the gate. From there, we'll uncover a hidden legal crisis on the sidelines, map out the new risks for, well, pretty much everyone, and finally talk about how you can protect your future in all this mess. All right, first up, the deal that was supposed to fix everything, the House versus NCAA settlement. This was supposed to be it, the big one, the start of a new, regulated, and way more stable era for college sports, all built on two pretty revolutionary pillars. And this, right here, is pillar number one. And believe me, it's a total game changer. For the very first time, schools can go beyond those indirect NIL deals and actually choose to pay athletes directly from their revenue. This completely rewrites the financial relationship at the heart of college sports. And we are not talking about pocket change here. For the top programs, we're looking at an extra $20 to $23 million flowing directly to players every single year. This isn't just tweaking the system, folks. This is a complete teardown and rebuild. Okay, so pillar number two was all about taming the wild west of NIL. The settlement created this clearinghouse called NIL Go. The idea was simple: get a neutral referee, run by a big name like Deloitte, to make sure every single deal over $600 was a real business arrangement and not just pay for play with a different name. So you've got direct pay, you've got a compliance watchdog, problem solved, right? The chaos should be over. That was the plan anyway. But the reality? This so-called solution is already falling apart at the seams. And that brings us to the first massive failure. The very system that was designed to bring order, that NIL Go clearinghouse, is already in a state of absolute freefall, and it's threatening to drag everyone down with it. You don't have to take my word for it. Listen to this from an insider at an ACC collective. They put it bluntly: this isn't some problem for down the road. It's happening right now. The system is collapsing just months after it even launched. The gap between the rules and reality is just staggering. On paper, it's simple: no approval, no payment. But in the real world, the system is so clogged and broken that collectives are just ignoring it. They're paying athletes for unapproved deals just to keep things from grinding to a halt. So why is everybody going rogue? Well, it's a perfect storm of disaster. Deals are getting stuck for weeks on end, with an estimated $11 million just sitting in limbo. The athletes themselves, they're either confused by the software, scared of it, or they just don't care to use it. And get this, the commission that's supposed to police all of this has 4 full-time employees. It's an impossible job, and it's forcing everyone to operate in the shadows, putting athlete eligibility at huge risk. But the collapsing compliance system is just the first domino. This whole professionalization of college sports has kicked off another, much quieter crisis. This one puts team physicians and medical staff right in the middle of a legal minefield. Dr. Jim Borchers from the Big Ten absolutely nailed the problem here. That old relationship, the one built on trust between a player and their team doctor, it's gone. Now that there's big money on the line, that relationship is purely transactional. Doctors are no longer just caregivers. They're seen as agents of the university, and that creates a massive conflict of interest. Let me just paint a picture for you of how this can go sideways fast. An athlete gets a $250,000 NIL deal. Awesome, right? But they hide a pre-existing injury to make sure that deal goes through. Then the university's medical staff finds out and has to question if they can even play safely. And suddenly, boom, you've got an all-out legal war over a broken contract with the medical staff caught right in the crossfire. See, unlike the pros, college sports has no standardized rulebook for medical disclosures.
That means medical staff are now staring down a huge risk of malpractice lawsuits from athletes who lose out on NIL money because of a medical decision. And to make it all worse, their insurance protection can be wildly different from school to school, leaving a lot of them dangerously exposed.
So, when you start to connect these dots, a pretty terrifying picture emerges. You have a failing compliance system on one hand and a new medical liability crisis on the other. Together, they've created this tangled web of legal risk that traps everyone: the athletes, the schools, and the brands. And I mean, the risks are literally everywhere. Athletes are facing the loss of their eligibility, nasty tax surprises, and voided contracts. Universities and their staff are looking at malpractice lawsuits. And the collectives and brands funding this whole thing, they're under the microscope with the IRS and could find out their contracts aren't even enforceable. Bottom line, no one is safe. So the bottom line is this: in an environment this chaotic and this high stakes, trying to go it alone isn't just a bad idea, it's a massive gamble with your entire future. And this is really the question everyone involved needs to be asking themselves. When the official rules are being ignored and new legal landmines are popping up left and right, how do you make a single move without putting yourself at risk? And that right there is the single most important takeaway from this whole situation. The complexity, the financial stakes, and the legal dangers are now just way too high to manage without professional, expert legal guidance. It's not a luxury anymore, it's absolutely essential. And that's where we come in. Whether you're an athlete, part of a collective, or a university's staff member trying to make sense of this, Sharp Counsel has the expertise to guide you through this new chaos. We're here to help you understand the risks, ensure compliance, and build a strategy that truly protects your interests and secures your future in this brand new era of college sports.